everyone, it's Patty. Welcome to the channel. For today's card project, I am making one using the new release, which this one is called Mrs. Claus Kitchen, and it makes a little Mrs. Claus, but it also makes like little cookies and decorative things. There's a little tray, a whisk. So cute. So I did make a practice Mrs. Claus just to figure everything out, and look how cute she is. I mean, she is just adorable. So, and this is the new Christmas paper. Everything is pink and blue, kind of this paler aqua blue. So she turned out so stinking cute. Here's one of the little whisks. And it comes with a little handle for the whisk so you can make it more decorative. So she can be holding that. And then here's one of the rolling pins that I made. So anyway, very cute, this set, and I should just tuck her in here. So I used that, and I'm going to be using the official North Pole Taste Tester stamp from Catherine Pooler's Sweet Holiday Sentiment stamp set. So let's get started. So first I had cut some of the elements out of some scrap cardstock, so I can't really tell you what it is. And then I am taking Catherine Pooler's gingerbread ink and going over everything so that it looks a little gingerbreadish. The mouse is so adorable. So I used the gingerbread on the snowflake cookie, the Christmas tree cookie, and that little mouse gingerbread. And then on the rolling pin and the handle for the whisk, I am just coloring a little bit with a, I believe it is E21 Copic marker. So I've got that taken care of, and now I'm assembling. So I put the wooden handle on the whisk. I put the frosting on the cookies. And the set also comes with a candy cane. So I did some pink and light blue candy canes. I'm just assembling one of each thing so you can see. The snowflake goes right on the snowflake cookie. So then for the mouse, I decided just to put a strip of little light blue cardstock behind. And now I'm adding the pink frosting. So it's going to be a pink and blue Christmas for this card. Well, I love traditional colors. This set is so cute, so I really wanted to use cute colors. And then there's little handles for the rolling pin. So that's how you assemble all the little elements. And now I am just doing some quick Copic coloring. I'm making Mrs. Claus gray-haired. So I started out with the darkest one, which was a C3, and then I went down to C1 and blended that out. And then I'm going over everything with a C00. And I did order some Olo markers in similar colors. So we'll see how I like those. I haven't used them yet. And then for Mrs. Claus, started with E21 and then went to E11 and then I go to E13 and just blend everything out. So her hands are the two little things off to the side. And then we were doing her face and ears. And then the apron is the pattern paper that was released with this new release. It's really cute. Lots of cute little icons, lots of cute little plaids. And it's called Frosty and Flurry. So now these are the sleeves for her dress, and I'm just doing a little Distress Oxide tumbled glass on those. And you'll see the cute little lace that gets added to the apron, and we added the pockets. So fun. And then that's the headband that's going to go in her hair on her bun. And then just a little bit of light ink blending around the apron to make it stand out. So getting that all finished up. And then we will start assembling Mrs. Claus. I mean, the apron's just adorable. So first I'll put on the sleeves. And shoes come with it as well. And there's also a tier to put underneath the apron. So you can see part of her dress. And then the dress has a cute little ruffle on it too, if you wish. There's a die for that. I did put that on there. I think it just completes the look really well. All right, so here's that tier for the bottom of the dress, just getting a little more tumbled glass ink blended onto the base of that. And then you can see the etched lines for the lace layer, the ruffled lace. So I did cut that out of some white cardstock and we'll get that added on. So the lace layer is a little bigger than the cardstock, so some of the white hangs over, which is what they want, which is how she designed it, so that you would have a nice space to put glue on when you glued it to the back of the apron. So I've got that little piece drying, and now I'm going to Copic color the eyes. And I used Copic, well, the black for the eyelashes, and then I used B26 for the blue eyes. And if you have a glass mat and you don't want a Copic color on it, it's not a big deal. You just take a little rubbing alcohol and it comes right off, or you can even, I used the Hero Arts cleaner. It makes it come off. You could color over it with the blender pen, and it comes off. So never be afraid to color with alcohol markers on your glass mat. So I've got the eyes glued together. And then just because I like it, I always go around the edges where it's blue. I use the blue, and then for the black eyelashes, I will go over that with the black marker. And I have so much glue in my hands, I should have washed them. And now same thing, going over the eyelashes with the black. It's kind of nice to not have the little white peeking through. Okay, so that is now dry, the bottom tier. So you just put little glue on the edge, and there's score lines that show you exactly how to line it up. So it's very easy. And same on the face. There are some score lines as to where to place the eyes and the mouth, so that you can get an adorable little facial expression. And those are her eyebrows. Where would we be without these little jewel pickers? So helpful. And the cute little feet that it comes with. And I just cut those out of scrap black cardstock. Okay, so now let's make her mouth. And there's two parts to it. So you can either just color that larger piece there if you want, or you can color the tongue and add it to that larger piece. So I chose just to color both, actually. I colored the little piece that is her tongue, and then I colored the entire mouth with a little bit of red too, just so that no white would show through. And then lining them up. It is very easy to line up. And then again, there's score lines there, so you know exactly where to place the mouth. So she's pretty darn cute. All right, so moving on. Oh, I forgot the headband. There's her headband. There we go. So moving on, I'm making a wooden plank floor. So this is gingerbread cardstock from Cut Cardstock, and I'm using Catherine Pooler's Sandcastle, and I was using the Waffle Flower, the big background brush, but it wasn't getting the ink into the crevices as well as I wanted. It's definitely a lighter finish when you use those. So I grabbed the handheld brush from Waffle Flower. And so the tray is part of the die set, and I'm using a sentiment from Catherine Pooler's called Sweet Holiday Sentiments, and I'm using Simon Hurley's Stellar ink, and it says Official North Pole Taste Tester. I thought that was the perfect little sentiment for this. And I'm using Juniper Mist ink. I had embossed that panel using Spellbinder's tile reflection panel. Man, I couldn't remember. So it makes like those old-fashioned tin ceiling tiles, something a little similar to that, which I feel like Mrs. Claus's kitchen would have something like that. So did a little bit of ink blending around, and I had to make some silver glasses for her, and those also come in the die set. It's just such a cute touch. All right, so I'm going to add my wooden floor, glue it down. There will be some need to trim some off. Isn't she just so cute? So I'm going to put all the little treats floating in the air all around her, and then she's holding the rolling pin and the whisk, and the mouse will be on the floor next to her. I was going to put him in the pocket because you can glue the pockets on so that you can stick the whisk in the pocket or stick the rolling pin or put a couple candy canes inside the pockets, but I just decided not to do it this time. So there, we're just finishing. I got everything set up the way I wanted it, and now we're just gluing everything down. Isn't the mouse cute just sitting there in the corner? All right, so then now that everything is glued down, I'm going to trim just 1/8 off all the way around. So not much. So there's just a little bit of border on my card base of white showing through. And then from that same stamp set from Catherine Pooler's Sweet Holiday Sentiments, I added a little sentiment inside the card. And then there is the outside of the card. All right, so here's the card we made together. Turned out very cute, and I used the new pattern paper on her apron. So that worked out well. The little mousy cookie, isn't that just adorable? So as a quick reminder, we used the Mrs. Claus kitchen, and again it comes with all the cute little accessories and all the parts for Mrs. Claus. Again, she was the practice one. And then we used the official North Pole Taste Tester from the Sweet Holiday Sentiment set, and then the Spellbinder's 3D embossing folder called Tile Reflection. But I also made another card more focused on just the Christmas treats and not Mrs. Claus. And I used Baking Spirits Bright, which again was from Catherine Pooler, called the Baking Spirits Bright stamp set. And I just set up little trays, and I've got the whisks on here. And I would use this, I would even like do a tray on a tag with this sentiment and a whisk or a rolling pin, and use these for Christmas cookie gifts. But that is so fun. So again, it's the very cute Mrs. Claus kitchen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.